YouTube! Today, we're going to be reacting to the real-time tornado of Moore, Oklahoma. Now, we have watched a video in the past of Moore, Oklahoma, but one of the things I like about the real-time is you get to hear interviews from the people that live there, and experienced it firsthand. So, it adds a nice little element to that I enjoy. And I'm sure you guys enjoy it as well. It's actually been recommended to me. So we're going to check this out.
Jenna, go get in the cellar. Go get in the cellar. It's an F5. I know it's huge. Okay, all right, bye.
Oh, this man was calling it earlier.
She actually knew the magnitude of it. This thing is sucking in everything. Oh my God, I hope it don't.
Boys, is that metal up there wrapped around the light pole? Or the electric pole?
Go towards our house, man. I don't know what to say. You feel so powerless. It's going through my town, man. And it's going to hurt some people. It's going to hurt some people bad. I was praying that it wasn't going to go north. If it went north just a half a mile, it could have hit my home. I knew this was a killer tornado, and I knew someone was going to die.
This was what I'm talking about there. You're experiencing someone who's seeing it in real time, who has things at stake, family at stake. You can't replicate that, man. You can't replicate that emotion, and it just adds that extra element to it. And number two there, I would highly recommend never driving over power lines. I don't know if he did there. He may have dodged them. He may have found a way to dodge them. But, yeah, if you run into downed power lines and stuff, just stay safe away from those.
This is now going to be, it looks like, crossing I-44. This is going to be just north of Newcastle. More than likely, it's going to stay going east here, so this is going to cross over the Canadian River.
After we closed up the shop, I just had this really weird feeling. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go pick Benji up. I just started heading to Moore, kind of went to the back roads because the highways were backed up. And I just remember the people stopping, and I was thinking to myself that, why are you stopping?
Northeasterly now, but barely, okay?
Oh, my goodness.
Right now, I'm at 134th.
And that was when I saw the tornado come down the first time. And my wife was texting back, are you on your way to pick up Benji? I said, yes. I said, stay where you are. I'm going to pick him up.
Oh, there it is, dude. That's huge.
Oh my God, I can see debris. Oh my God.
As soon as the tornado was coming into Moore, immediately I started thinking about my children because my children are in school that day. But I can see that it just crossed over I-44. That's about 10 minutes away from me. And so I needed to go ahead and get into my shelter.
Oh, Lord. Best decision ever. Get underground. Get underground.
There are ventilation pipes kind of stick up out of the shelter, and when the wind started picking up, it had taken the wind cap that keeps out dirt and moisture completely off, and that was when I was able to see outside.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that this is the tornado.
Woo.
It's about to pass through. I can hear it coming. I'm so scared right now.
My shelter is old. It's real creepy. It's dark, and I was frightened to death, and it was pretty traumatic.
I'd never really thought about that too much, but while you're underground there, in your shelter, that really does have to be terrifying. Because you can hear that roar, you can hear all the damage taking place. Man. And I guess there's always the fear, too, that it rips your shelter door off, and then, like, the wind cap coming off, too. So now she can hear it even better. I wonder if there's, what's the possibility that, little chunks of debris comes down there? It's creepy, dude.
I'm lost right now. I'm so worried for my boys.
I thought the world was going to end, honestly. I mean, the shelter could fail, and I didn't know. My worst fear was ultimately dying.
269 headquarters. It's going to be approaching 4th Street in Oklahoma City, a little bit west of Santa Fe.
Good Lord.
Officers started kind of spanning out around the city, trying to stay out of its way and trying to let each other know where it's at.
272, we got some rotation above our heads to the right.
The problem with this storm is it was so large that it was kind of confusing at times. It was 2 miles long, so, officers thought that it was at one place when it was actually covering, a good 2 miles of our city.
A violent tornado going through South Oklahoma City Metro. It is in Central Moore. Go, John Welsh.
This thing is a monster. It's so big, it's completely lost its texture, and this thing is just grinding right through Moore.
As soon as the tornado crosses I-44, which is a major thoroughfare through the city, that's where the heavily populated areas start, the neighborhoods. And when it hit that, it started picking up all the debris, and it almost lost shape because it got so big.
And this thing is just tracking, like you said, continuing to go towards...
My goodness, dude.
The Moore, Warren Theater area.
Our main purpose is to give people that forewarned shot of exactly where the storm is, what preparation they need to take, and if they're in the clear or if they're not. We kind of take off the TV shirt, we kind of put on the life-saving shirt.
So this is definitely something that you need to be aware of, and get in your tornado shelter area right now.
Yeah, by the way, I think Moore, Oklahoma was the last EF5 that we've had, isn't it? I'm pretty sure that's what I heard. It was the last EF5 that the U.S. has had.
If you are living in Moore, this is going to be moving in your direction. You need to be below ground immediately. Now is the time to go into your tornado shelter. We are not...
Because of Chance's stream that was coming in, we started to see this tornado going into a more densely populated section of Moore.
Chance Cold Iron, go ahead and go.
Okay, Damon, tornado is on 149, just crossed 10. It's a large stovepipe tornado. It's in the EF4 category or higher.
I was playing two roles that day, chief meteorologist and husband.
This is the tornado now. This is going to be right over. This just crossed over the train track.
I'm looking at the path of this tornado, and it is headed right into the middle of my neighborhood.
I'm very familiar with Moore. It is my home. It is what I've called home for the last 4 years.
I was texting my wife saying, get into the tornado shelter. But the seconds felt like hours as I was waiting to hear back from my wife.
David, there's a biggest neighborhood edition of nice homes here.
Dude, that would have to be terrifying. All those people's situation. You have a mom that's went and gotten her tornado shelter. She knows her kids are at school. Lord, man. And then you got this guy, he's at work. He's trying to give people an early warning, get shelter, and at the same time worry about, his own family, Dude, that's tough. Absolutely tough.
Getting ready to take a direct hit.
I also knew at the same time I had a job and that I couldn't let my guard down.
And again, just for anyone that is curious, I live right here. So you can certainly imagine the emotions that I'm running through right now, but a life-threatening situation, you need to be below ground immediately.
Get underground.
Stay tuned for your local on the 8s, brought to you by TheraFlu.
Cold is holding you back. You need the power of Count on the Weather Channel.
As it was moving through my neighborhood, we were still sampling winds in the 200-mile-per-hour range. I had a lot of emotions running through.
Damon, that tornado moved just to the south of 4th Street. I lost my house, I'm pretty sure. Maybe yours is gone. It's gone. As I'm chasing, I'm reporting, going through my head. Where's my sister at? Where's my other sister at? Where's my wife at? Who do I know in the path of this tornado? That's my town. All these people are losing their houses. I'm part of that. That's kind of why I reported it on the air like that to Damon.
Those are things that you're never prepared to hear, but if we were to lose our house, so be it. Knowing that my family was going to be okay in the shelter, that was what allowed me to get through that afternoon.
Amen, brother.
This is unreal. lines everywhere. It's dangerous, very dangerous for me to be here. I'm telling you, it's a deadly, I mean, it's incredible. It was hard to believe how lonely it felt being behind that thing.
Ooh,
so
man.
it's kind of nice to be able to talk to Jenna on the other end of it.
It's risky.
Line straight east along 134th.
This huge tornado's coming through our town, and I'm sitting in a cellar with people I don't really know that much.
You know, I know emotions are running high, and he's worried about his family. He's trying to get to him. But as you seen there, going underneath that post, you could tell the thing was still swaying. It could have fell on top of him. You can't help anybody if you get hurt yourself. Keep that in mind. You can't help anyone if you get hurt yourself.
So the time I did spend on the phone with my dad was very special.
This thing is sucking in everything.
Hey, Jenna's okay.
Oh my God, I hope it don't go towards our house.
I could hear the wind behind him on the phone. I could hear how crazy everything was, and I was really scared.
I gotta stop. The trees are down, I can't get through. Jenna,
Lord.
I can't tell you, I can't stress to you enough. Stay in the cellar, all right? It was amazing that I was keeping communication with her with an F5 tornado between me and her. Hey, are you okay? But, even though she's in a storm cellar, I thought the thing was going to go right over the top of her. I really did. I was really, really starting to think that I didn't have a home to go to. I'm trying to get back. Okay, so be ready. Be ready.
I cried, especially when he told me, get ready, it's coming. It's going to hit our house. Just be prepared. I'm thinking, dang, I'm about to lose everything.
It's coming right towards our neighborhood, Jen.
There's nothing we can do about it. Nothing. We're helpless.
The tornado's gotten very well defined now. It has really intensified. You need to be taking your sheltering activities. It will probably be there within minutes, so a dangerous situation.
No, we still got time, Joe. We still got time. Hold on.
Okay, this is at the Briarwood Elementary.
Wow. Roar. Huge debris. Huge debris.
You could feel the actual roar of the tornado. It was just a beast. It was massive, with huge pieces of debris being lofted hundreds of feet in the air, pieces of homes, cars, just all thrown in the air. We could tell at this point that this tornado was a monster.
Oh my God.
There's people going to die.
We did see people who got out of their cars who were looking right at the tornado as it was coming toward them. I hope those people made it out okay.
Go! Go! Good God, these people. Go! People are about to get. We got a straight road east. This takes us all the way east, so we're good.
Once we saw it get closer toward us, we didn't want to mess with this thing. Your natural instinct is to just get out of there. It was.
That's smart. Look, like I said, I've always wanted to see one like dancing out in the open field, not bothering anyone. Having a tornado that big coming at me, like, I'm gone, dude. Ain't no way. Nope. If I get a picture, it'll be like this right here. Going away. The opposite direction.
It was just something out of the movies. Completely unimaginable. And at that point, you really couldn't believe what was happening to the town of Moore.
It's getting closer, man.
I ran from my van into the office. I was asking where's Benji at. She said they're back in the restroom.
I really do miss my mom. With everybody.
By the time I got into the bathroom, the power was out, and I just remember having to tell him that we can't leave. I have to stay here because it's right behind us.
Mom's asking if I'm with you.
He wanted to talk to his mom, so I was taking these video clips at night. I was sending them to her. I told him and the boys, if I go, you stay holding on. If you don't hear me, don't start crying, you know, just hold on. Just listen to my voice and just hold on.
Cold chills, dude.
Enter the world of DiSerrano.
It's here that could be killed. I just knew we needed to hang on. I was holding on for dear life at that moment. I let out that scream, and then I realized they need me to assure them that we're fine.
I had told the boys, grab onto me somewhere. You can't reach onto me. I said, grab one and hold on to the bottom of this toilet. I said, don't let go. I held my arms like a football stance over that toilet. And I knew that I had to keep these kids safe. One of the boys said, can you feel the breeze? I said, guys, keep your heads down. That's not the breeze, that's the roof. It's about to go. At that moment, instantaneously, that roof was just gone. A cinder block wall that had fallen onto my back, pinning my leg. This debris just started building up. I literally thought I was gonna be crushed. I was scared. I was really scared. I wasn't gonna come out at all.
There's damage to the roof. It's okay. We're in a brick building. It's okay.
After the tornado had gone over the top of us, I could see the kids were safe. So I opened the door, and I could not believe what I was seeing. Oh my God.
My goodness, yeah, it absolutely wrecked the roof.
God. Oh my 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 God. Oh my
Woo! Holy, dude. Like, man, like, don't get me wrong, all these other tornado videos do, like, really good, but, like, man, having those in real time involved in it reactions, like, it really brings it to life. God, is that terrifying. Oh, you can already see the debris flying.
I'm gonna sick to my stomach. Oh my God. I don't have my boys with me. I am all alone down here in my shelter. It's so scary, guys.
This looks like something out of the Blair Witch Project.
That it's not that bad.
There it is. You can kind of see it on the ground, just the texture of it.
We followed the tornado from start to finish, and the total duration was probably, rough estimate, 20 miles on the ground.
It's really fizzling out as we're seeing. I'm going to do another turn here. I'm getting kind of far away, but it looks like it's roping out a little bit, and there it is. It's gone, Mike.
After the tornado lifted and it hits you, your home, your town has been completely destroyed by an act of nature.
Our response time to get to the area that was hit was within minutes. But to start the search and rescue and control the scene was very difficult to do because we had to cross the path that the tornado come through.
It takes you a second to just kind of grasp what has happened, but immediately you hear people screaming for help. And there were...
You know, that's something we hadn't talked about before either, you know, a tornado that does that much damage and goes through a town, you got, of course, you got power lines, trees, debris, everything scattered across the road. Your police departments, fire departments, search and rescue, rescue squad, you get the picture. In some places, it's going to be nearly impossible for them to drive to you. I guess it's probably why it takes, well, I mean, obviously, that's why it takes so long for them to get to some people. I mean, they're having to get out on foot, and, you know, you have to be careful. You know, you got down to power lines, man. Once again, you can't help nobody if you're hurt yourself. It's dangerous business.
Where a lot of people stuck in shelters or stuck under debris.
It's safe. You're safe. It's east of you now. You can come out. They carved the path right through more, though. Bye.
Let's get another shot there. But you can see.
I'm heading to the east, and all I was thinking about is I've got to get home. I got to get to my neighborhood. I've got to see Jenna.
When my dad said I was safe and I could come out of the cellar, I really didn't know what I was in for, coming out and seeing everything.
I'm crossing the path right now. I'm starting to see a lot of damage. I'm starting to see debris all over the roads. It's really starting to become real. Oh my God. Huge amounts of damage. I just drove by
Look at that, man.
A concrete
Jesus.
slab, and I didn't even realize that the concrete slab was a 7-Eleven. I heard later on that the husband, wife, and an infant baby that died in that store, and you know that was it was devastating.
Whew.
God Almighty.
Flattened. We kind of looped back around to the west. We knew that we were going to be some of the first people to arrive. Jeez, this is the worst I've ever seen. Good. Look at that car, Mike.
Oh, God. Dude, it's like apocalyptic. That town... Whew. Oh, yeah, that silver car. I was focused in on the red truck. There's a silver car rolled over on its side next to it. Look at those trees just completely splintered, broke in half, debarked. And, man, you know, once again, I used to only pay attention to, you know, the big damage. But, like, you see all these little debris, this red item, this yellow item, and so on and so forth. Man, that's people's lives. Just flung everywhere.
This was incredible damage. Just absolute destruction of whole neighborhoods. This is unbelievably sad. Oh my gosh.
Let's just stop.
What was once a nice neighborhood of homes, nice homes with families living in them, was reduced to just piles and piles of just unrecognizable rubble. People were kind of in disbelief, kind of in shock, just because I don't think it really hit them yet what had just happened.
People were just climbing out of their storm shelters. A mom and a daughter
were
climbing out, and there were just tears pouring down that mom's face. She was heartbroken because as the tornado was coming through, someone was pounding on her shelter to get in, and she didn't have the strength to open the door. And to this day, we have no idea what happened to that family trying to get in their shelter.
Have you heard any reports of what may be going on at Briarwood?
I'm hearing from some homeowners here. They say that school has been hit worse than this, but we don't know as far as casualties in that school.
When the first responders were there, we focused the majority of our efforts on the 2 elementary schools that were hit, Plaza Towers as well as Briarwood. We focused more initially on Briarwood just because of the damage that was done.
And as we got closer into a neighborhood there next to the Briarwood Elementary, we were seeing the parents who were going back to see if their kids were okay.
Anybody look for their kids? Yes. No good. Kids? First grader? Yep. Officer right there, I'll tell you.
Just seeing someone know that their child could have been killed is something that you never want to see.
Please no kids, man.
There's nothing worse than not having a warm.
When someone cares enough.
Yeah, it's just a little wet.
We went out to the end of the parking lot. There were people running up and yelling their kid's name. And I can't imagine how you would see the destruction that occurred and believe that there were survivors. Amazingly enough, we were very, very fortunate, and no one died in our building.
Love to hear it, man. I'm glad. I'm sure it has its own level of traumatizing, but no one was, unalived.
Me and Benji got out, and a bunch of his classmates, so we're good. We're looking for help right now. Trying to go to the front. Where the 7-Eleven's at. Me and Benji.
Benji and I walked 40 city blocks. We were soaking wet. And there was a boy, I say boy, he was an older student, probably teenager. This teenager gave him his Westmore hoodie. And that meant so much to me. There was a guy behind me, and he was kind of like, do you need help? And I said, no, I'll be fine. And he's like, I can't let you walk. I cannot sit here knowing that you're injured walking. And I'll take you. And I've always wanted to say thank you to that guy, and I always want to say thank you to that young man that gave Benji his Westmore hoodie. They really helped me that day. I want to thank them for helping me that day.
Everyone was needing help. People on one side of the city didn't realize that the other side was just as bad. And the hardest thing for me, and I know some of the other officers, is just seeing the hurt on people, knowing how much they've lost. Literally, a quarter of our city was gone.
Dude. Absolutely obliterated. Wow.
So knowing what all the people are going to have to go through to get their lives somewhat back to normal was probably the most difficult part.
I came back from Iraq a couple years ago, and the devastation, the debris, it took me back to Baghdad after a car bombing. We have shrapnel, deaths through legs, people not moving, casualties, bad casualties.
It just assaulted the senses. You smell gas and fire and just that earth scent as it's churned up. It was absolutely heartbreaking to see it so fresh, so raw, so immediate. And probably the most heartbreaking part was the sounds that still ring in my head to this day. People screaming for help from under debris.
They are trying to remove the heavier debris so they can get to someone at the bottom of that rubble.
And then the silence when the emergency personnel can't get to them in time.
Oh, that's something else to take into consideration too. Once you learn something new every single video you watch, and you take a look at all your rescue services, all your first responders, man. That's you're over here trying to get to someone to save their life, and you have this, right? I mean, look at that. Imagine right there in the middle to the far left of your screen of trying to remove all that to get to someone and help them. And then it goes silent. Because in your head, you know. But you can't stop. It's...
We have kind of the basic stuff, the first aid kit, some gloves, which proved to be very handy that day, and just some heavy-duty boots.
Oh, all the nails
People
and
were running
screws.
around looking for their loved ones, asking if they've seen their pets.
Small red dog. Anybody?
We'll look for it if we see it. We're looking for it. It was sad to see animals affected by it because they had nowhere to go. They had nowhere to take shelter. You could see injured horses roaming free in the pasture. And some of those horses had to be put down just because they were so badly injured. Periodically, you could hear gunshots in the distance, which was very heartbreaking.
No, this right here, that's the Plaza Towers Elementary School. And yep, we're just north of 19th Street, south of 4th Street.
Come on, man.
I have been told that this is no longer a search and rescue operation. It's now a recovery mission. It is my understanding that there are up to 24 children trapped at the bottom of that school right now.
Oh, so still hope that they're okay.
There were 7 children who didn't make it out alive.
And I understand they're going to start pulling these tiny victims out of the rubble here shortly. But
there's one image that stands out in my mind. I saw the search and rescue personnel, and they're heaving tiny desks and chairs up in the air. And then you know beneath all of that, there are children who unfortunately didn't make it out alive.
That's the end of where the first grade classrooms were. After the tornado, there were these levels of accepting how serious the situation was. I felt like I needed to process everything. And so I went back. There's a car in the middle of Mrs. Goodman's classroom.
My goodness, dude.
I saw X's spray painted. I knew that meant that the first responders had gone through everything, checking to see there had been loss of life. We were just so fortunate.
That was the girls' bathroom, and there is the boys' bathroom. This is where we were first lined up when I was texting parents and friends, and the lights had gone out, and then we went into the bathrooms. That's my door right there.
As teachers, your classroom is like your second home, not only for yourself, but for your students. It's hard to see your classroom home just destroyed. A place that used to be full of kids' laughter and learning and activity and all that kind of fun stuff, just ripped apart. But I was so fortunate. Did not lose my home like so many, my children's lives, and my own life. It's a reminder that our time is short. Appreciate your loved ones, appreciate the time that you have.
One foot was wedged here. Noah was behind me. And he was grabbing my leg. He had his foot against the door. And I was back here.
I was between the toilet and the wall, hanging on the toilets to make sure that I don't go up with the tornado.
But I remember the walls felt like they were gonna come. They're pressing and pressing. I just remember pushing the wall. Push just like this.
but I guess it was enough force to keep this off, and I pushed this in.
Because his legs was holding up these walls, and then his hands was like holding up this wall, like kind of like standing up in the air, just making sure that those walls didn't crash down on us.
Yeah. It was hovering over almost all of us.
Yeah, those poor kids, man.
Like an umbrella.
And it felt really scary.
I pushed everything because it was all over. I just pushed everything and just started throwing stuff out, and you could see.
Those walls almost crushed us, but my dad, he
saved their lives.
He grabbed those walls and threw them.
First boy out, second boy out, Benji, another boy out.
If it wasn't for my dad, we'd probably not be here right now. We'd probably be under rubble.
These are what saved our heads. Little heads. Dictionaries right there. That's what did it. We got out.
Sam was here that day because if he wasn't there and that wall still kept on falling, it probably would have crushed all of us.
He was a big hero.
I'm not the hero. Those guys are the heroes. Those kids are the heroes. I just help.
39 minutes, it caused billions of dollars in damage and claimed 24 lives. 7 of them were children.
Anytime you have fatalities in your city, you feel somewhat responsible for that. You know, you don't want anyone to die in your city, especially kids. But just seeing that it had gone through several schools, just looking at the center of it, I didn't know how anyone could survive.
My kids were okay. Going through something like that really teaches you to be grateful for what you have, because I just saw my neighbors lose everything.
Oklahomans are very tough and resilient. You care about your neighbor. It's you last and everybody else first. And that's the kind of love that you feel here in Oklahoma.
When we first came into the damage path, there was an American flag hanging from a tree. I don't think somebody put it up there because we were there that soon, and it was hanging there. That image right there kind of stuck out in my head, like, why is that flag hanging from the tree just like that when so many houses were gone? We actually had minor damage at my house, but 100 yards away, there's nothing left.
We didn't lose our house, but I knew that there was still a lot of tragedy. Okay, I know my family is okay, but I know that there are many, many families out there that are not.
Well, it ended up being 3/4 of a mile south of my house, but at the same time, it just devastated
Look at that
so
destruction,
many people.
man.
And that's why you got to live life one day at a time and protect our loved ones and our fellow man.
Oklahomans are very strong people. You just gotta help one another, you know? And that's exactly what we did. We helped each other.
When Mother Nature is at her worst, human nature is at its very best. You look at Moore today, and this community is rebuilding, bigger and better and stronger. And it's because of the resilience of Oklahomans. It's the Oklahoma standard that we have grown accustomed to here. And to see that, that is the good that's come out of May 20th.
All right, dude. Hey, real time, more Oklahoma. The ending there was a little tough. The reason I say that is, man, when I hear that kids got hurt, it kind of hurts the soul. You know, I mean, what words can you have? Don't get, once again, I don't like hearing anyone get hurt, but man, when kids get hurt, it just, I don't know, it messes with my head. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But man, hearing from the victims, and even, you know, like the teacher with the phone, you know, you could hear this taking place in real time, is wild. And so scary, dude. Absolutely scary. Yeah, I mean, what can you do with a tornado that big? You know, it's not like you have a plethora of options at your disposal. You know, and even at like a school, like, you know, I know they got the central locations and bathrooms and stuff, but tornadoes that strong, sometimes it don't matter where you are in a building. And I would imagine it would be nearly impossible to have like a underground shelter that would fit, you know, hundreds of students and faculty and staff. You know, it would be cool if they could. You know, it would be real cool if they had something like that to, especially in these more tornado-ridden places. Moore, Oklahoma, man, I know they've been hit like a couple times, and well, you have what, 3? Because you have 2 that hit Moore directly, and then you have the Bridge Creek and Moore. And that was like, it had the strongest winds on earth. But, yeah, there ain't no way you could get me to move further west, like out to Oklahoma, Arkansas, Kansas, and all that. You know, nothing against the people. The people seem awesome. But, man, you know, and I know tornadoes are, you know, for the most part, they're rare to hit a highly populated area in comparison to how many actually touch down. But when they do, you know, that's the big concern, is when they do. Yeah, man. You know, hey, look, we all need to find an area that never gets tornadoes. Antarctica, maybe. Maybe we can do something there, warm it up a little bit. Yeah, man. Yeah, what can you know, Briarwood, you know, I want to say the teachers and everybody did great. Obviously, they did. And I'm sure the teachers and faculty did a great job at the other school. Yeah, man, I just hate hearing about situations like that. I really do. You know, they did a great job. They did what they can. You know, sometimes tornadoes like that just go through anything and everything. And to see people's homes just scattered about, destroyed. I mean, it was an apocalypse. People's everything. You know, I'm sure that they were just happy to be alive. And then to look around and see your neighbors, you know, who may have lost their lives or lost close ones. Man, that has to be tough. You know, kudos to the town, though, for coming together and helping one another and, you know, getting lives being pretty much restarted, right? Lord. Yeah, it's a different hit, though, watching the real-time tornado. But, yeah, well, I think we'll end it there, guys. Hey, look, I am cheap. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, and all that good jazz. We'll catch you in the next one.